The Naraka Bladepoint Beta just ended, so let's talk about the good, the bad, and the improvements I hope the game makes by full release. All the melee weapons that were in the previous beta, the katana, the greatsword, and the longsword, all feel really balanced, especially the greatsword. This thing was so overpowered in the last beta because of how fast attacks would come out and the amount of damage they did. It looks like the damage output is about the same, but the attacks got slowed down, which is exactly what I was hoping for. The only thing I wasn't a huge fan of was the greatsword's counter, which is new. Basically, if you clash with the greatsword, they could pull out this really quick blue attack. The attack itself isn't bad, it's just I think it comes out way too quickly. I constantly saw it coming out and still was getting hit by it because I wasn't able to parry since I was still stumbling by the time they hit me. So slow that down a bit and we're set. Now for the new weapon, the spear. Oh god, the spear. This weapon was introduced in the beta and it was the most broken thing I've ever seen. Obviously when you're in a tight spot, the first thing you want to do is run away, right? Nope. Spear pulls you right back in. Not only that, but you can get infinitely combo loop with this thing. It was so busted. It was so obvious this thing was overpowered, so of course it broke the entire meta of the game. Last beta, I was a full katana user, and I was really good with it. This beta, I just had to throw it away because of the damn spear. There was no way to compete with this thing. If you decide to use any other weapon against it, good luck, because you're probably going to lose that fight. Fixes for this thing would be just to send it back to the drawing board. You'd have to rework like all the combos on this thing to make sure people can't infinite with it. And also make sure the hitboxes on it are working well and not sucking you in from a mile away. Okay, now that's over with, let's talk about the range weapons. I personally love how every range weapon is. It's all really a preference. It really does just come down to what you're into. Do you want to blast people with the cannon? Do you want to be more precise with the bow? Do you want to waste a bunch of ammo with the repeating bow? It's, again, preference. Everything's great. Next, the characters. I think every character's super ability was good. We have counters, heals, blocks, teleports. All great things that could turn the tide of battle on the fly, but there's a few ultimates I had a problem with. Kurumi, which is the character I play, creates a healing circle that lasts about 15 seconds. 15 seconds isn't bad. I think it's the amount this thing heals that's the issue. If you're on the verge of death, just pull this thing out and you're pretty much invincible the entire time you're in the circle. So slow down the healing speed and you're set with this one. Next we got Matari. Her ultimate turns are invisible. The problem I have with this one is it essentially destroys the entire flow of battle. If you play or go against Matari, you can choose at any time you please to just leave a battle. If you sneak up on someone with her and you don't like how the battle is going, just turn invisible and run away. And heal and go back and fight. You can just repeat this endlessly until they either give up and die or you just get bored and want to move on to somebody else. There's no real way to catch her since you can't grapple or lock onto an invisible Matari. So all you really gotta do is wait for her ability and hopefully kill her before she runs away. Oh, did I mention she can attack you while she's invisible? So pair this with the spear in its current condition and you got an impossible battle on your hands. The fix for Matari, I think, would be to make her invisibility shut off after she attacks. And also to potentially let people grapple her while she's invisible. Like straight out of the air, so that way she just can't escape. Keep in mind you can still somewhat see her as long as she's moving. So make it that when she's crouched, she's completely invisible. And while she's moving, we can still see the same outline. That way she's still more of like a stealth character rather than an annoying ambush character. There's a reason both these characters I've mentioned are at the top of all the leaderboards. I think these tweaks would make the playing field a bit more balanced. An honorable mention for a somewhat bad ultimate is the monk, Tianhai. His Titan form also feels like it doesn't do much but slow down battle. Basically when he's about to die, you can trigger the ultimate and he'll turn into a Titan, gain his health bar, and just spam the grapple attack and slam you to the ground. The counterplay for this is just to run away really, since the grapple can be spammed so quickly it's basically impossible to avoid it entirely. So you just sort of sit in the corner and wait 40 seconds for him to change back to normal, just so you can shoot him with an arrow and end the fight. For sure my least favorite ultimate in the game. Fixes for this thing would be to slow down the grapple spam. That way you can actually have a fight with this guy. Maybe heal him while he's in the form. So that way he can safely get out of this form if he actually survives the battle with it. The last thing I want to talk about is overall gameplay. If I'm being completely honest, it was pretty bad this beta. Last beta was beautiful. It felt so good and I was overall disappointed with this one. The amount of bad ping people experienced caused a lot of frustration since the game wasn't able to feel as precise, and it felt like so many hits that should have landed would just go right through the person, and because of this you would get punished and possibly killed. Game optimization was also a bit weird. The game would spam low memory while I was on low settings. Moving up to medium settings somehow just stopped the spam. So was my memory low or what happened? Also, the auto lock system seems really busted. It felt like I had to re-lock onto someone at least 3 times per fight, even though they were standing right in front of me. You'd also get stuck locking onto someone when another person showed up and hit you. I feel like the game should focus on whoever is attacking you at that moment. That's not how it worked. I had to manually lock and unlock and hope it makes the right choice about who it's going to focus on. I will say though, the dev team is and was aware of a lot of these issues throughout the beta and was working day and night to find the solutions. A lot was fixed, so I'm hoping that by the time the full game is released, we'll be ready to go and can have a great experience. This is the exact reason betas are a thing, to test it out and fix it before the full release of the game, and that seems like what was happening throughout this entire experience. But what do you guys think? Did y'all experience any issues? Did this beta make or break the game for you? Let me know down in the comments. I'm still really hyped for this game and I can't wait to see where it goes. I hope to see you guys in the next one.